She was yelling Taeyong's name but didn't get any response. She shattered almost every glass item of her house to see Taeyong's reflection. Though she felt like Taeyong is standing beside her and watching her, but she got insane when she couldn't see him. Her body was lying on the cold floor of balcony. Her eyes were bloodshot. Whole body was trembling, not because of cold, but because of fear that what if she will not see him again. Her eyes became heavy and she drifted into her nightmares because dreamland couldn't possible for her right now. She felt her body being lifted by someone, but she didn't have the power to open her eyes. She let the person doing his work and she felt soft mattress under her and warm blanket over her. She snuggled into her pillow while mumbling Taeyong's name. She felt someone's kiss. She held his hand tightly but felt like his hand was dissolving in the air. Next day, she tried to find a black shadow everywhere, but she didn't find anything. A deep sigh left her mouth. Her attention went on the main door. When doorbell rang, she went and opened the door, only to find the person whom she loved the most. But now her eyes were filled with hatred by seeing the latter's face. Vian's mom, Vian, darling, how are you, my bun? She tried to hug Vian, but Vian backed off. Her gaze fell inside the house, where everywhere shattered pieces of glass were dispersed. She gasped and held Vian tightly, checking any injury or bruise. Vian jerked off her mom's hand, which were around her. She stood far away from her and asked in a cold tone, "What do you need, mom?" Though her mom was well aware of Vian's state, but her tone made her shocked. She didn't expect this type of hospitality from her daughter. She came inside and sat on the sofa, trying to accommodate in the gloomy surrounding of this apartment. Vian's POV, the person whom I trust the most break my trust and hurt both. Why the hell she come here? I will kill her here if she doesn't go by herself. Suddenly I saw Taeyong's black shadow just above my mom's head hanging on the ceiling. A bright smile came on my face when I saw Taeyong. Now I can see his face with the shadow body, his intense gaze on my mom, telling me that he is very angry by seeing my mom, though I am also, but I don't want my mom to see his shadow and becomes terrified. I gestured him to calm down and he obeyed my command like he did when he was alive. I went to kitchen and he came behind me like a disciplined child. I was giggling inside by seeing that his ghost was also scared by me. I really want to envy on his cuteness and hug him. I stand beside the kitchen counter and he hung on the ceiling in front of me like a bat hung in the night. His face was upside down. I was really angry on him because he left me yesterday night without full explanation. I was still glaring at him before I scolded him. He pecked my lips. I became shocked, but I was used to of this because he always did this to make me calm. Vian, you ghosty, don't come outside now. I know that you are angry on her, me too, but before you do anything, I need more explanation from you. So better you be here and I escort her as soon as possible. Cheesecake, you don't need to worry. No one can see me except you, so I can roam anywhere, anytime, and right now I want to hang just above the head of your mom. Before she say anything, he went outside of the kitchen with the speed of light. After pecking her lips again, she shook her head in disbelief. She also went outside with some snacks with her, though she wanted to mix poison in them, but she didn't do it. After half an hour, her mom went after asking about her health, which she answered very coldly. Whole time Taeyong was hanging above the head of her mom as he said, giggling on the cold shoulder which Vian was giving to her mom. Taeyong was still hanging upside down on the ceiling. Now come down, you bratty ghosty, or I will beat you because you made me cry the hell last night. I will smack your ass for lifting me like this. Come down right now. Giggled of Taeyong stopped by seeing the fuming Vian, though he was ghost, but angry Vian was worse. He quietly came down and stood in front of her like an obedient child while playing with his fingers. He gave toothy smile to her but got angry response. To his surprise, Vian instantly hugged him and started crying on his shoulder. His head melted and started caressing her back. Cheesecake, if you don't stop crying, then I need to again disappear because God has commanded me that if you became over emotional, then I need to disappear, and that was the reason for last night I disappeared. God said that my soul couldn't come to heaven until I take my revenge. He said that my body, my soul is turbulent right now because I died with lots of sorrow, and he said that if you become over emotional by seeing me, that I need to disappear. That's why I disappeared for a week. I was around you, but you didn't see me. I will help you in taking your revenge. I know that unrightness happened with you and you will surely get justice. I will erupt every truth from mom's mouth, and also we need to punish your foster parents. But how will you do it? Wyan peck his lips. Just wait and watch your cheesecake magic. He was utterly confused, but he surely knew that his love will surely plan something big. After all, she had 148 IQ level. Like Namjoon? At Wyan's mom's house, Wyan POV, my mom opened the door. She was shocked by seeing me suddenly here after many weeks. Though I was disgusted by seeing her face and shame in calling her mom, but I need to control my anger. She hugged me, but I didn't lay any finger on her. I was disgusted by seeing her touching me. She's a criminal who pressured a person to death and made him my life a living hell. We went inside. Taeyong was the whole time beside me, and obviously she couldn't see him. Oh my goodness, is Taeyong really a ghost or a vampire? Why his favorite is hanging on ceilings upside down and also just above the head of my mom? It's 8 p.m. and the whole home was dark and gloomy. Just table lamp was illuminating the living room. Mom, I need to talk with you. Really important. Yes, darling, I'm all ears. Tell me, you were threatening Taeyong to leave me. By Wyan's sudden question, her mom's face becomes pale. Wyan was in no mood to hear any lies, so before she got any response from her mom, she said everything which she wanted to say. You were offering Taeyong money to leave me. You were threatening him to death for leaving me. You pressured him, made him depressed so that he can leave me and take his own life by himself. Wyan's mom was completely froze by hearing all her past deeds, though she became utterly shocked, but she tried to act cool outside. Lady fake smile. Wyan, darling, what gibberish you are saying? That they are completely lies. That's not true. And why are you dragging that boy now? He's gone and it's been more 7 months now. The table lamp started flickering and harsh gust of wind started coming inside of the house by window where curtains were dancing with air. Wyan's mom became terrified by sudden within chair, but Wyan was continuously staring at her mom without any blink because she knew that Taeyong is angry by mom's straight lie. Wyan looked up, gesturing Taeyong to stop the bizarre things. He obeyed her and all the things stopped. Her mom became really confused and half scared by sudden changes in the surroundings. I'm asking you last time, Mom, and you have to say the truth. Did you threaten Taeyong to death? And don't you dare to say a lie. I'm saying truth, Wyan. I didn't do anything which you're saying. Barricades of Wyan's anger braked and she held her mom's jaw harshly while digging her nails into her skin, staring at her with anger. Do you believe in ghosts? Her mom was shaking terribly by seeing the bizarre things happen, and Wyan's sudden strange question made her utterly confused. Do you believe that someone third is also here with us too? Will you believe that if I say Taeyong is here? Adrenaline was rushing into her mom's bloodstream with dangerous rate. She scrutinizes her surroundings with wide eyes. Her eyeball could be came out of her sockets anytime. Her voice tucked into her voice box. Her mind became blank and she was looking at Wyan with incredulous vision. Before she said anything, Taeyong came down in front of her. She became freeze by watching a black shadow in front of her. She fell on the ground with thud sound. Her whole body was trembling with high rate and she was trying to back off while shouting at Wyan to back off from the shadow. I'm asking you again, Mrs. Young, and now you have no option but to tell us the truth because we both knew all your black deeds. We want you to admit your sins and tell us by your own mouth. Her mom threw a vase on Taeyong's black shadow, but the vase went through his shadow. Her mom became traumatic by seeing all the horrifying things in front of her. Wyan came forward and grabbed her shoulder tightly and harshly. Wyan in yelling voice, see what you have done with Taeyong. Now he becomes a ghost, a goddamn ghost. You made my life a living hell. Here Wyan was yelling at her mom and there Taeyong's shadow is standing beside her, terrifying the very soul of her mom. bolt of pain was penetrating in the every molecule of her body due to of all the sudden strange and scary things. She fainted on the floor. Vian's piercing eyes were throwing daggers to her. Vian went to kitchen and brought cold icy water with her. Vian threw the icy water on her. She abruptly waked up, gasping for a mouthful of air. Water choked into her nostrils, making her tremble for precious air. She sat on the floor. Her vision was blurry, but again a bolt of fear and pain crushed her soul. See, this black shadow which you are seeing is Taeyong, my Tay baby, whom you murdered. Now, will you tell us all the truth, or I say Taeyong to do something really terrible with you? After all, he is a ghost. He can do anything. Smirk. Vian grabbed her mom's arm harshly and threw her on the sofa. Her mom settled down there. Vian started phone recording in front of her. Her mom's face was pale, but fear was clear into her eyes. She was stuttering, but Vian commanded her not to stutter. Lady, yes, I never liked the relationship of Vian and Taeyong. I offered him money to lift her and also gave him death threats so that he leaves her. I know about this. His foster parents, that they tortured him till he was 18, and I also knew his depressed state. I took advantage of his vulnerable state and triggered his fear. After an hour, police arrested Vian's mom and triggering a boy to death and giving him death threats. Police took the phone recording and when Vian's mom was begging for their forgiveness, but Vian turned around and not even wanting to see her face. Vian's body fell on the sofa, staring at the wall without any emotion. Taeyong sat beside her in human figure. He kissed her cheeks. Take out your emotions, Vian. I know you want to cry, then cry. Don't need to suppress it. I'm here, cheesecake. Vian fell into Taeyong's embrace. She grabbed his shirt tightly. But if I cry, then you will disappear. I don't want you to disappear, Tae. Cheesecake, the cause of your emotions is not me but your mom. So you don't need to suppress your cries. I'm not going anywhere. A deep sigh left Vian's mouth. She cried heavily in his embrace. He constantly kissing her back, giving soft kisses on her neck and head while mumbling sweet nothing. Taeyong's foster dad named John. Taeyong's foster mom named Mary. John's POV. Suffocation. Why I'm feeling suffocation? I'm on bed, right? But why the mattress is so hard and wet? Where am I? I slowly opened my eyes and found myself in a most horrendous situation. I'm in a glass coffin and wet. Oh, Holy Mary, Mother of God! Water was filled in that glass coffin till my thighs, and it's constantly filling inside. I will die in water. No, I was sleeping then. My eyes widened when I saw Mary in front of me, tied on the chair while blood is oozing out of her arm drop by drop, but constantly. She will die if the blood doesn't stop, and here I will die underwater. Why is this happening with us? Who done this? Appa, how are you? Long time no see. John's POV. My big body becomes stiffened. That voice, I knew that voice. But he's gone. How can he be here? I looked upward and saw him hanging on the ceiling upside down with a creepy smile on his face. His face is more terrifying than death. Suddenly a knock came on the wall on the coffin. I looked towards it and saw a girl standing there with a knife on her hands. As you can see that your wife has become a human glass, and drop by drop her life is slipping out of her body, and your condition is not so good, bastard. You will drown in this coffin and no one will hear you. You both will die soon as deaths come quietly. No. What had we done to you that you are doing this with us? John's POV. I tried to move my hands and legs, but it looked like my limbs had become numb. I tried to shake my body, but all went vain. Taeyong is watching me from ceiling while this unknown girl is slashing my wife's cheek. More blood is oozing out of body. I am in a labyrinth of problems. Still John POV. I abruptly fell from the bed. Cold and hard floor braked my buttocks. I was in a cold sweat. I opened my eyes when I saw Mary was on the bed, but her body was shaking terribly while her eyes were closed. She was mumbling something. I shook her and tried to wake her. She promptly opened her eyes. When she found me near her, she hugged me instantly in a tight grip. We both were shivering in fear and surprised that we both have seen same nightmare. We both were in cold sweat. Both of our body movements freeze when we hear some clapping. Both of our eyes widen when we saw the same girl of our dream sitting on the chair and digging the same knife tip in the coffee table. We abruptly backed off and sticked ourselves to the headboard while looking at her with dread fear. John, who are you? Ryan, it doesn't matter who I am. Thing matters is for what I came for. I know that you both have murdered Theong's parents for their inheritance and now eating it with your asinine tongue. You both had also tortured my Theong till he was 18. John, how do you know this? It doesn't matter who I am and how I know your evil deeds. The thing matters is now you will upchuck all the truth in front of police. Mary, bitch, why will we do it? Get lost from our house, you whore. A harsh slap came on Mary's cheek. She looked around her but found nothing. The couple was confused and terrified that from where that slap came. The couple saw a silhouette in front of them forming beside that unknown girl. They both fall from the bed, screamed in fear after seeing Theong is standing in front of them. They both ran towards the door but it was locked. John grabbed a vase from the beside table and threw it on Theong. The vase passed out from Theong's body and went directly towards Ryan, who was sitting behind Theong, but the couple was dumbstruck when they saw that the vase stopped in front of Ryan, floating in air. John was freezed on his face while Mary bawled in dread fear. Both of their bodies were quivering. Now will you do what I say? The inheritance paper are in our secret locker in which Theong's parent gave the inheritance to Theong. Now, please leave us. We are terribly sorry that we tortured Theong. Son, please leave us. At least we are your foster parents. Theong suddenly appeared in front of John and grabbed his throat. Anger was on full display in his eyes. Teeth were gritting. Leave you? Are you fucking serious? You murdered my parents, tortured me and told me that you are my real parents. My life ended because of you all bastards and I took my life because of you. Theong was gripping John's throat extremely hard. John was choking and quivering in his grip. Wine came and stopped there. John fell on the ground, shaking in extreme fear, gasping for air. Mary fainted on her place, but no one gave attention to her worse condition. John tried to come near to Mary, but Theong grabbed his collar and threw him far from Mary. Theong pointed his fingers to John, an indication his eyes were telling how much rage those were carrying for that person in front of them. John was on the verge of fainting, but Wine threw water on his face. Now you will give your statement to police that you murdered my parents and took all the inheritance. Do this or I can take my justice here by killing you. Don't think that I am not capable of doing anything to you. I am a spirit and do anything. I am worse than police. John nodded vigorously. Van grabbed his jaw tightly. Words, motherfucker, words. Yes, I will do everything you say. Van sighed and hurled him to the ground. In half an hour, police came and took all the evidence against of John and Mary. They arrested them in murdering, torturing, and taking the inheritance of other persons. John told them where they buried Theong's parents' body. Theong disappeared suddenly without saying anything after police took the couple with them. Ryan knew where he went. A droplet of tear rolled out of her eyes. That tear was in contentment for Theong's justice, sorrow for him, and fear that now his mission has completed, so he will leave. Sobbing sound was coming from a figure who was sitting beside two graves. Wine took a deep sigh and sat beside him. She engulfed him while kissing on his back. He totally braked in her arms. Tears of Wine were also not stopping, seeing The's condition in front of her. They both were trying to console each other but crying more and more. Their tears were sharing their pain. They didn't say anything, just their presence was soothing each other. Words were not forming in their mouth. Their eyes met and slowly they came closer. Lips were touching. This kiss gave flood of relief to each other. Lips were molding into each other like their lips were made for each other. Their salty tears were telling the untold story of them. Though they were destined to meet, yet destiny played with them. Vine was grabbing his collar as tightly as she could. Her tears were asking him to stay, and his tears were telling that he couldn't. The young appearance was fading slowly and gradually. Vine still trying to hold him. Words were not coming out of their mouths, though they wanted to say innumerable words. Taeyong was kissing her cheeks, wiping her tears. She took a deep sigh and instantly grabbed a sharp knife from her bag. Tay, why in cheesecake? What the hell you are thinking to do? No, you will not do it. I know that I'm going and I can't do anything in it because I'm dead and you are alive. You can't take your life. Don't do this. Who says that I am alive? I am dead at you. If you will go, do you think that I will be able to live? No, I will die every fucking day without you. No, now I don't have anyone and I can't let you leave like this. I will come with you. One-time death is better than dying every day. Before he said anything, she cutted her throat. His eyes widened. The happiest smile was at the face of Vine. She attached her lips to him. He snaked her wrist, trying to wake her up, but her eyes were closed and her lips were still on his lips with a big smile. Tears were rolling down his cheeks. He grabbed her tightly. Between his cry session, someone tapped his shoulder from behind. He turned around and froze on his place. Vine saw, Dumbo, I told you that we will be together. Now get up. We need to go up there. Woohoo! Thanks for watching. Bye.